Alright, headed up to the 8th floor. Lonzo Williams.
About to do it with sweat this morning, folks. Early this morning, got on my dress sweats.
Yep, Mama Boo in the building. Let's do this.
Going down.
We live this morning. We're about to go on Sirius XM with Sway in the morning, folks. It's your boy Lonzo, the Godfather, West Coast Hip Hop, 8th floor, Sycamore building. It's about to go down like 4 flat tires that are broken up.
Yeah.
We got a DJ that's here today that's been a pillar to hip hop music as in its entirety as a culture. I won't even pigeonhole it to just the West Coast, but if it wasn't for his presence on the West Coast, there's a lot of evolution that may not have happened. He's in the forefront of this culture. He's in the forefront of this industry. The things he's seen and witnessed and the things he's caused to happen should be celebrated. And we got a chance to meet this man the other day at CSUN when we were speaking to a lot of the kids on the campus, a lot of the students, and he said something to me that kept me up at night, you know, and he came up and he said, man, it's an honor to meet you. I said, an honor to meet me? Man, it's an honor to meet you.
That's about the same thing I said.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's about the same thing I said.
But we talk about humility, Heather. We were talking about that earlier in the sports report, and those who know, man, this dude is a super iconic legend, and he agreed to come on our show today, and I'm very proud to have him. DJ Alonzo, aka Alonzo Williams, World Class Wrecking Crew, Uncle Jam's Army, all of it, man. This man is here. We're gonna have a history lesson, and we're gonna talk about the now, and we're gonna talk about the future. DJ Alonzo is up next. Rev, you got questions for him?
Man, I there's so many questions.
Okay.
Questions that are popping in my head while you talking to him.
Okay, LA, man. Bay Area, New York, Texas, worldwide. We got DJ Alonzo coming up next. You got questions, speak to an icon. 888-742-3345. I mentioned World Class Record Crew. Torch, play my joint, man. Play it. Sway in the morning.
That's a proper intro from my man right here. Proper intro. It's about to be epic.
Oh, I turn off the
There he
lights.
is.
Come on, man. You can throw me on that.
Understood.
Man, I appreciate you, loved one. Come on, man. Man, I have it no other way, bro.
My first big show.
Is it?
My first
That's
big
a
show.
damn shame.
My first major show.
Come on, man. But let it be the first of many, brother. Come on in, man. Let it be the first of many. Yo, give a round of applause for this man. Came out back in 2015, Rev. You remember that, right?
Of course. Even my son remembers that. That's why I was playing it for him.
Yeah, Silas, that his son, who's 12 years old, is a big fan of that movie, but he's also a big fan of the culture. And the person in that was Corey Reynolds, who was starring as our next guest. And we played that Turn Off the Light song that came out in the mid-'80s, 1987. And I remember being in the Bay Area as a youth and listening to that song and not understanding, like, what the heck is this?
Right.
Where did it come from? Who are these people? And who is that singer? People don't realize when it comes to the West Coast, there were a lot of things. When we talk about hip-hop, 50 years of hip-hop, and we talk about the Kool Hercs and the Grandmaster Flashes and the Africa Bambatas, there were things happening parallel on the other side of the country to some of the strides they were making in the 70s. This man was very instrumental for a number of reasons, and he was portrayed in Straight Outta Compton in a really interesting way. And so I always wanted to ask him about it, and I want to welcome him to the show. The one and only DJ Alonzo, aka Alonzo Williams, is here.
Yeah.
World Class Wrecking Crew. My brother, man. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be on the show, man.
Man, thank you.
I did a doc. When Dre and them stood on did the thing for Compton. Dre stood on the Eve After Dark. He stood on that club for a reason. He was on that stage for a reason. That's where he and we all started off at. That's when the hip hop. That was the origins of West Coast hip hop. Was Eve After Dark.
You hear that?
The documentary, I did it. We were in the Pan African Film Festival. Kicked ass in the Pan African Film Festival. It had 2 showings at the Pan African Film Festival. We just made the Rome Film Festival, and I'm doing a private screening tonight at the Barbara Morrison Center in LA. Tickets available on Eventbrite. Eve After Dark is the keyword. Got to plug that, baby.
Eve After Dark. So let's put it in perspective. What year did you own that club, you and Roger Clayton, and who was Roger?
Roger didn't own the club with me.
Okay.
I got the club in 1979.
Okay.
I started DJing fresh out of high school in '75. Yes, I'm an old son of a bitch. Okay.
I couldn't tell, brother.
Okay. Not that's just for men, baby. I got to paint this shit in the
You
morning.
know what? Shame the devil.
Hey, I ain't no shame of mine. But I need the Gray Street just to let people know this is still real. Bobcat was LL Cool J's DJ.
And where was Bobcat from?
From L.A.
Okay, and so LL's first album,
Right.
right? Bobcat was producing and DJing with
Right.
LL, right? And the LA Dream Team.
L.A. Dream Team was from L.A. from L.A. But I don't know if they did anything in New York. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they okay, continue.
Okay. So yeah, we had this love-hate relationship, man, that stayed until the brother died in 2010, man. Come to find out, Dre's dad lived on my street. So I knew all his uncles and aunts or whatever, so I knew the kid.
Yeah.
Tell you what, come back, get straight, I'll let you in. Because technically, I had an 18 and over club. It was a teen club, but I had an 18 and over because I didn't want to be no romper room shit. I was thinking more like Soul Train, not romper room.
Yeah.
Okay? And I had a dress code because Soul Train was a big influence on what we did here on the West Coast. So Dre came back, suited and booted like he wanted to, like I asked him to. Eazy rolled up with him, didn't come correct, and started talking shit. So I flexed on him. Get your little ass up out of here. So that was real talk. So Dre came in the club, got on the turntables, and I tell this story. I've told this story 1,000 times. I'm gonna tell it 1,001 today. I don't know how Dre got on my turntables. He didn't clear it with me. But he started doing this mix. That was the shit. And I'm listening. Damn, that's kind of dope. But it wasn't dope. It was fresh back then.
That was fresh, right? Yeah.
That's fresh.
Yeah.
And we got to kicking it, man. And he told me, gave me some personal thing. Come to find out, his dad lived on my street. I knew his mom the whole 9 yards. And shortly after that, because I was already making records, I was making bootlegs. I was making underground mixes. We got them from New York, but it was all mashed together. Okay, but some of the things wasn't working. Well, some of the music wasn't working for LA, so we started making our own. And I wanted Dre and Yella to start making them for me. Yella made it for me already. I wanted Dre to come in as well. And that was our first introduction to records.
Yeah.
On the mixed underground tip. I had a label called Z-Rock, Cut Up, House Party. I had about 4 or 5 labels. Had about 4 or 5 underground labels that I was pushing.
I know all those labels. That was you.
And I was fiending for it, but it was hard for me to get my hands on the actual records where I was at on the East Coast. And if I was able to hear shit like this when I was younger, it may have had a bigger impact on, my influence or my style or whatever. So it's really crazy when I'm able to go back and hear these records. And now to be playing this shit with you sitting here is kind of, kind of crazy, man.
Right.
But yeah, it's amazing.
Let me ask you this. So Dre got his beginnings, it sounds like, through the World Class Wrecking Crew, right?
Yeah.
What happened? Like, when you look at the movie, they portray you in the way that you say Roger was. They said it seemed like you were the controlling one, and didn't believe in the vision they had to go more towards street rap. You wanted to keep it more R&B, the sultry, more of a sound like when we listen to Turn Off the Lights. What really happened?
You want the real?
Man, give me the real, bro.
All right, the real is, World Class Wrecking Crew we was Pretty Boys. Okay. Jerry Curl, sequin suits, the whole 9 yards. In Turn Off the Lights, not when I say like a dancer, I take off G-string.
Yeah.
When I do that show, I pull off my pants and shake my nuts. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I had a G-string on when I shake my nuts. I got to tell you that. Got time
Yo, we learned so much today. Yo, he was a poster gangster, a bootlegger, and a nut shaker.
Here's my thing. Lonzo is 8 years older than Dre.
Okay.
7 years older than than Eazy, and I'm 12 years older than Cube. Okay. So for Lonzo, a grown man from Compton, to be a nightclub owner whose whole background has been non-gang affiliated, all of a sudden at 30 years old to become a rookie gangbanger, ain't gonna fly.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody knew me. They knew my card. They knew that ain't my thing. I worked with a lot of the homies who was with it to protect the Eve After Dark, Doodles, Gateland, all my venues. So they knew that that's not my thing. Okay. When it came to the music, when it came to the movie, I had never in my life heard them do a gangster song in my club ever. It was not. Think about this.
Yeah.
I was out of the club business, or I was out of the E for a while. By 1986, there was no gangster raps in 86, 87. Okay, for me to be at Dudos to hear a gangster rap. But what happened was, the true story behind that, excuse me, Dre had did a song for his cousin Jinx. Jinx was in
Sir Jinx.
Sir Jinx
Mhm.
was in Cube's group CIA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dre did a song called "Fuck All Them Hoes." Okay, I'm trying to find one copy right now. They own 5. Nobody. We weren't the same patient. We all wear the same shit.
Yeah.
Over here dying.
I still wear the same kind of shit today. I got on my shit right now.
Lonzo. Okay, but people went along with it. Who brought Michel'le?
I found Michel'le one Sunday. I had just come off the road and I had a date. And one of her friends called, "Hey Lonzo, I got this girl that can sing." Dude, not today. I got to go. It's been a long week, okay? Dude, come on, man. I'm right around the corner. Come on, blah, 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 blah. And, dude, not today, man. Man, please, please, please. I'm right around the corner. I'll be there in 5 minutes. So he came by the pad, brought this little girl to the studio. All right, man, what we got? She wouldn't say nothing. Come on, man. I got to go, dude. What's happening? She wouldn't say nothing. So she walked around in front of the mixing board, turned her back, and started singing. Started blowing. Fuck. Where did that come from? So I got up and walked around to see if she got a tape recorder or something. So by that time she got comfortable, she kept singing, she turned around and was rocking. And then I said, "Come on, baby, come over, talk to me for a minute." Oh,
The talking voice.
homeboy dropped his head.
Alonzo Williams, aka DJ Alonzo from the World Class
Yes, sir.
Wrecking Crew. You have a hat on that says NWA, not without Alonzo. I want to talk about that hat.
You got it.
And then even the inception of NWA. DJ Alonzo, aka Alonzo Williams, is here with us, man. Listen, for me, I have I want to keep this on a positive. I'm concerned and that a lot of the history that's being told right now is being compromised by the industry that's telling it. In other words, because it's the so-called 50-year anniversary of hip-hop, and there's a lot we can debate about that and debate about hip-hop and its origins. There are a lot of corporations that are putting out a lot of content with voids in it, or it's inaccurate, or you have so-called gatekeepers speaking on things that they don't know, and they're telling misinformation. So when it comes to hip-hop as a whole, the West Coast story has not been properly told.
I on my YouTube channel, people have said, "Oh man, you felt this way. You felt, how the hell you gonna tell me how the fuck I felt?" I've never been a hater, man. That's never been my get down, dude.
But you just mentioned, you shouted out Ice Cube because he's one of the few people that always mention you in a positive way. But what are people saying about you that's not in a positive way?
Well, the people think that Straight Outta Compton is a documentary.
Okay.
Oh man, you was a hater. You hated hip. You hated rap. No, I didn't. I'm the first one that brought Curtis Blow to California.
What do you mean?
They say huh?
What do you mean? You brought the first to bring Curtis Blow to California?
At Eve After Dark, 1982. I brought Curtis Blow to Eve After Dark.
Wow.
I brought Run DMC. Cost me $500 to bring Run DMC and Jam Master Jay and DMC to Eve After Dark in 1983. Me and Russell was talking on the phone like I'm talking to you right now. Okay, Uncle Jay Zombie brought it back later on, but I'm the one that was doing that. Okay, so I couldn't have hated on hip hop. Ain't nowhere in the world I can hate on hip hop. I can hate on gangster rap because understand this. When NWA first came out, they wasn't gangsters. They was doing street rap. Eazy, when you see the movie Straight Outta Compton, and you see Eazy throw Ice Cube and Yella out of the studio, that was at my house. I still live there today. That was at my house. When Eazy brought his demo tape in from doing Boys in the Hood, came into my living room, my dining room, put it in my stereo, put the cassette in my stereo, and I'm sitting there listening to it. Everybody else was laughing. This is the Eazy trying to rap. I said, "No, man, that control."
Who's everybody that was laughing?
Everybody was there. Was Cube and kids, Yella and Dre and Shakespeare. Oh, Eazy trying to rap. Oh, blah 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 blah. I'm working with it. It took forever. But I'm like, dude, he got action. Why? Because at the same time, one of the biggest records on the radio in LA was Pickin' Boogers by Biz Markie. If you can get a hit with Biz Markie, Pickin' Boogers, you can get a hit with Boys in the Hood.
There was a platform that was really instrumental in LA, and just not just LA, hip hop in general, getting the exposure at a time when you could not get rap played on radio, called K-Day.
Yep.
Right here in Los Angeles, 24 hours, 7-day a week, rap station. Greg Mack, Russ Parr. These are pivotal names in K-Day's history. What you got going on today?
Tonight at the Barbara Morrison Center in Los Angeles in Leimert Park, I'm screening my documentary, doing a private screening for my documentary, Compton Love. If you saw the Super Bowl 2023, Dr. Dre stood on the club, and we did a documentary on what that club meant to the community. It was a different time, man.
So that stage set was a club?
It was a club, City Hall of Compton, and Tams, where Suge ran over brother Terry Carter, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. I was there. I didn't make the connection.
See, most people don't. That's why I made the documentary.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out to my boy Wave out of Chicago. He's doing a series of documentaries called "You Can't Erase Me," featuring brothers and sisters from New York. And of the first 10 series, I'm the 10th one in a 10-episode series for representing the West Coast. So there are stories being told, but we gotta tell them ourselves.
Yeah.
If you're an artist and waiting on somebody to tell your story, you're gonna be a waiting ass.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that was amazing.
That was great. That was great.
I'll tell you something, man. Like when I was shit, look at it now. Man, that shit was amazing. Let me tell you why. Because it was what I was interested in was Wrecking Crew in the Uncle Jam's Army story.